Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Chronicle and welcome to my new apartment. I don't even know where to begin. So, this week I moved into my new apartment with Ink. That's the short story. Like I said, I don't even know where to start. I guess like I should explain the whole thing, which I will and I want to. But we got to talk about the goals. The goals, no, forget the quotations, just the goals, okay? The goals. So they're all right here. Amidst the move, I don't know where to put them. Cause like in the past, you could see them right there next to my door, but now my door is like over there, and that's not even that's my closet door. I guess, cause I'm trying to think. Now I'm thinking, where would I put them? Can you see this wall? Not really. You can see my curtains here. Would it be funny to put them on the curtains? That might be a little bit funny, and that could be cool. Um, so yeah, so let me tell you, this bed frame is gonna go. Um, God, yeah, the thing is, I've been thinking about talking to the Chronicle this whole time that I feel like I've already talked about everything, but I know that I haven't. Like, have I talked about the lofted bed? And I know that I talked about getting it and why I wanted it, but I don't know if I talked about how now I'm getting rid of it. Long story short. So I gotta start with the goals though. The winter goal of Cook an Apple still exists. The music again goal, I thought it would have been cooked on this one, and I would have to count it as canceled. But my application is still open and able to be edited, even though the deadline is passed for that. This is staying on the wall. Oop, hold on. Wow, the glare on that is crazy. There we go. That's the thing Bones drew. Yeah, I think I should count all the goals as paused for this week. I was thinking about no mercy. I should say that they all get an X and I suck. But no, that's just cruel. Okay. Um, yeah, so we're gonna count all the goals as getting another pause for this week because I was moving. So the dailies goal, pause. Guitar catch up, pause. Workout goal, pause. Whistle goal, pause. Resin goal. I guess that one still technically gets an in progress, huh? Yeah, sure, man. My coworker said he'd get it to me before Christmas. Christmas is next week, if you can believe it. So yeah, because that's technically out of my control, and I would assume he's working on it. So that gets that. The beard goal is still frozen. I think I'm getting very close to trimming it, and by that I mean I'm just about ready to trim it, because I want to see how full it can get before I start trimming it. And if you hear background noise, that would be my roommate, Ink, and her boyfriend. Um, did the December goal to move out? That one gets a big fat check. I know I keep my office supplies in this bucket here, and oh, I have two Sharpies. Okay. Um, Big check on this one. Let me put a big ol' cha-ching, cha-ching, bam. That one's completed. Where are the goals that are done? I think they're over here. Right? No. Yes. There they are. Eh. That one's done, technically. I want to do the December goal. Yep. Or wait, yeah, winter goal. Okay, what's happening? What just happened here? That. I think that was all of them, yeah? Shoot. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's falling. Yeah, I think that was all of them. So they're all paused. One of them's in progress. One of them's done. Shout out to the moving goal. Lots of fun. I like living with my friend. It's pretty sweet. I'm gonna be honest. Um, Lots of fun. That's the short story. Okay, so the goals are there. I guess should I make new goals? No, I need to work on my current goals. If I'm being honest, I need to get do the current ones before I just start stacking multiple on there. Yeah, so the music goal is not totally cooked because I can still submit stuff. And my dad was talking to me earlier today. He was like, "Hey, buddy." He was seriously harshing my vibe while I was trying to practice. I just ended up leaving. I didn't even finish practicing my playlist because I was like, I don't want to. This is making me very upset. Because I just explained the whole situation to him, and he wasn't helpful. Also, this hurts. It's bothering me. Ugh. Okay, it might look like I've been attacked, but really what happened was ink touched up my tattoo. Now it looks like this, much better. The red used to be like just less, kind of. You can hear it out there. Used to be less, and now it looks good. Because she was like, "Hey, what do you want? Like bigger or whatever?" I was like, "Make it look good." It looks good now. And also like that's just the excess ink that she wiped off. Whew. Goals check. Journal time. Yeah, sure. We'll start with that. There is no entry for Monday because I was moving. So let me try and recall the events of Monday, okay? Starts off around 8 a.m. I wake up. I get a text from Ink. She says I'm on the way, okay? I start getting ready. I'm getting ready. She says, "Hey, I'm here." I finish getting ready. We get in the truck. I get my energy drink. We get in the truck. and then we go over to her place. All right, we start packing up all of her stuff. Her boyfriend is there, and we all start packing the stuff. I think we pack all the stuff up. Long story short, she still had like some packing to do while we were there, so we helped with that. And we're like, we're probably gonna need a second trip, just for like the little bit that she has left. So we pack everything that we can in the truck. We go down to the apartment, okay, and then we give them the deposit. I think. No, I already gave them the deposit. We give them the rent for the month. Okay. And then we take a look at the place. And remember the apartment that we were looking at had all these problems that they said they would fix before we moved in? They didn't fix any of them. And the place looked really bad, if I'm being honest. It looked so bad. And so we go in there and we're like, hey, nothing's fixed. So then the whole management office is thrown in a tizzy, right? They're like, okay, I'm so sorry. We'll fix this. We'll fix this. Management team is on site. We'll fix this. We'll fix this. The management team walks in, and I would have thought that they would have been on the side of the leasing office. I thought they would have been like, oh, that's fine. We can fix that. But no, they walked in there and they're like, wow, this is awful. Everything in here sucks. And we're like, yeah. Carpet was dirty. Was it the walls? The walls were fine, I think. The shower curtain rod was pretty much rusted out. What else? The door frame, yeah, serious suspicious looking door frame. I know I talked about that already, I think. Um, so it was the curtain rod. It was the carpet. The carpet was dirty, seriously stained. It had looked like it had been attempted to be cleaned, but it just didn't work. So then we go to leasing office. We're like, this is awful, and nothing is fixed that you said would be fixed. So then they're like, okay, oh my gosh, we'll get maintenance on site. We'll fix this. We'll shampoo the carpet. If that doesn't work, then we'll have it totally replaced. And we're like, no, no. So I asked, can we just get a renovated unit? And she's like, okay, she's looking through. There had been no renovated units ready to be moved into, but she was like, okay, this one's probably just about ready. There's only like one issue, which is still here, which is a hole in the ceiling above the shower from water damage. Probably because the bathroom fans don't work. They should. I would assume that's where the water damage came from. So we're like, okay, can we get the new place? She's like, sure. Okay, so we're like, okay, perfect. Because like we were kind of in a panic because like we had the truck right for that one day and we needed to get everything into the apartment. The apartment was terrible. All right, so we're like, okay, new game plan. We got to get the stuff into the renovated unit, but the carpets hadn't been shampooed yet. So we're like, okay, whatever. We'll shampoo the carpet. They'll come and shampoo the carpets. So we move everything in, not onto the carpets because they were going to shampoo them. And then I think once we get all of Ink's stuff out, I think we go straight to my place to get my stuff. I still had a little bit of residual packing to do. Um, so we do that, and then we pack that up. Brief shout out to my mom. Thank you, mom. Love you, mom. Mom was very helpful. I had originally not intended like for her to be a part of the whole moving party. And by moving party, I mean like the party of people, not like a celebration. And then she was like, hey buddy, I'm here all day. I'm like, okay, cool. I should be fine. Should be no issue. And then there was a lot of issues. And then she pretty much I think it was whenever we arrived at the apartment. I was like, could you drop or the new apartment? I was like, can you drop off like a couple boxes and things? She was like, sure. And then I was like, all right, yeah, you can stick around. That's fine. And then yeah, very helpful. Shout out to mom. Thank you, mom. Love you, mom. So she helped me pack while I was like, bringing stuff out, and we were loading up my stuff into the truck. So then after we get that done, we take it back. We dump it all onto the hardwood because the renovated unit has hardwood. And then once we dump all my stuff in there, the carpets are wet because they've been shampooed. So we're like, okay, I don't want to quite move all my stuff in yet because the carpet's still wet. So then what happens is I think we end up kind of just like hanging out, mostly. So once all my stuff and Ink stuff was in here, mom went to Costco. She got rotisserie chicken. She was gonna get coleslaw, but she couldn't find any, so she got baked beans and then just like Hawaiian rolls. And then me and Rowdy, we had Rowdy in the moving party. Me and Rowdy enjoyed the chicken and the baked beans. It was very good. And then I'm trying to think. Later, Ink and her boyfriend had gotten back from a second trip to her house to get the rest of her stuff. So then they both showed up, and then also Parkour. He was supposed to be part of the original moving party, but then he was like, I got work. I thought it was going to be later in the day. I'm like, okay, all good. So then Rowdy and Parkour are now with Ink and her boyfriend. They're setting up Ink's room, and I'm kind of just chilling because like I don't want to put anything on the wet carpet just because like I'm afraid it'll mold or something. So I wait. I mean, I'm setting up this bed frame, and this bed frame, total bust. It was supposed to replace my shelf of like childhood memorabilia. Because that thing was like falling apart. It was held together by super glue and prayers. So I was like, that's not gonna survive another move. So I got rid of that, and I was like, okay, this thing's got so much storage, and it does. Okay, guys, let me sell you on this real quick. Look at that, built-in desk. Okay, shelving, shelving. Check it out. We got three bins right here. One, two, thirds off camera. And look, you see this section right? Look at right here. So right there, there's like a kind of like a place. You can see the bottom of it. See that grate right there? So that is a space for a computer. You know, like a big kind of PC computer, right? Like the box. Um, which is what I have. I know you can't see it. It's just off camera. It's right here. Okay. Anyway, so that space is for the PC. It barely fits. Okay, the PC barely fits, man. And also like with the way it's positioned against the wall, trying to get the USBs to the back would be like impossible. And they don't need to be moved that often, but I would still like to have access to them. So currently, it's in a spot to where I can mess with it easily, which is good, especially because it has had some problems since I plugged it in, but they've subsided. Um, right? So it's got the desk, it's got the PC place, it's got shelving, it's got storage. I mean, yeah, check it out. Look at this part right here, okay? You see my hoodies here? There's that bar that runs across that side so you can hang stuff up. Ladder up to the top. My pants are wet, so they're still drying there. I did laundry earlier. But yeah, so this is my lofted bed. You can see my mattress up there. So this was supposed to be awesome, okay? This was supposed to be peak. It was not. It wobbles a lot and it creaks when you're laying up there, which is really annoying. Like, let me just shake it real quick. See how the whole thing moves? So that's really bad because if my monitor and my PC are on this thing and it's just shaking, they're gonna fall off. I'm worried they'll fall off. That's not a very safe bet. And also, I had parkour try and climb up it earlier. He was scared. He didn't want to climb up it. He was like, "Wow, this is wobbling a lot." I was like, "Yeah." Um, Now I could mount it to the wall, but I'm honestly afraid that it would rip out of the wall because of I'm pretty sure this is a child's bed, and I am not a child. I'm much bigger and heavier than one. So like I'm afraid that if I did mount it to the wall, then I would just it would like move or something, right? Because this is just drywall. Um, so like I don't know how well that would actually hold. And also like it is much higher than I thought it would be. You can see like it's right there. Like this ceiling, I guess you can kind of see the corner of the ceiling over there. Like normal ceiling height, you know? It's comfortable. But I'm just so close to the ceiling when I'm up there, right? So it's not super comfortable to get in and out of there. My previous lofted bed was better, even though it technically had less features, which is kind of crazy. So I'm getting rid of this, and my dad is getting me the one that I wanted originally for my birthday, which I'm pretty sure I talked about. It's a twin size. It's got a back headboard. It's got this little plug-in. It's got LEDs. It's got underbed storage. Everything that I want. But the only reason that I didn't buy that was because I was like, oh, maybe instead of finding this thing that I really love and settling on and saying yes, that's the one I want, maybe I'm not considering options that I hadn't considered before, and I'll keep scrolling and looking. And that's when I found this one. I was like, okay, this one's perfect. I want this one, and then I got it, and it's awful. It's so bad. So thank you, Dad. Shout out, Dad. Love you, Dad. He's getting me the a twin bed frame that I wanted the whole time originally for my birthday. So my place might look like this, like a total mess and disarray for the next two reports, 2 weeks. Um, those bags are empty. This one's full. It's got my shelf stuff in it. I don't have the shelf. I got a new shelf to replace the old shelf. I got that from my older sister and roommate, who is now just my older sister, not my roommate anymore. Um, so I think I'll put that like probably at the foot of the bed, my new bed frame once I get that. Um, I guess I can leave that bag packed for like a couple more weeks. It's just like decoration. Um, anyway, so that was Monday, and also the situation with my bed frame. I guess yeah. Now's a perfect time to segue into the journal and the daily weekly stuff. I do have work in the morning, and that sucks, but it's a short week, so it should be okay. Also, I'm supposed to go grocery shopping today, so I might be low-key cooked. Um, okay, yeah. So that was Monday, I think. Key highlights of Monday: very chaotic. I thought it was supposed to be quick, cut, clean, plain and simple. It was anything but that because the apartment was screwed up. I'm low key mad at the leasing office. They just straight up lied to our faces when they said they'd have that stuff fixed. Because like if they had that stuff fixed, it would have been smooth sailing. It would have been perfect. We would have gotten to the apartment, dropped ink stuff off, gone to my place, gotten my stuff, dropped my stuff off, and then I'm trying to think like maybe just like because the thing is if things hadn't gone wrong there, then I wouldn't have kept mom in the moving party because I would have been like yeah thanks for the boxes I'm good. Um, but yeah, my mom was a surprising, not a surprising addition, an unexpected and surprisingly helpful addition to the moving party. Again, thank you, Mom. Shut up, Mom. Love you, Mom. Um, but yeah, so I had taken 2 days off for the move, and then so had Ink, and which was like I said, that was needed. Like I said, it was supposed to be clean. Like I said, clean cut, plain and simple, easy. Get her stuff, come here. Get my stuff, come here. move in, easy peasy, right? We wouldn't have needed the 2 days off, right? We could have done that in an evening. But then yeah, everything just went bottom up, and it's like holy crap. So that was Monday. I think I ended the day by like building this bed frame, which sucks. But it'll be replaced, so it's okay. Also, I couldn't get my closet set up for a while because the paint was peeling off, and I was like, that's gonna peel off onto my clothes when the curtains slide around. So I got permission from the front office to sand the paint off there myself, which is pretty annoying, but I'm glad. And they might replace that bar anyway, but it's probably a low priority. Like when I walked in the office, she was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know when they'd get to that. They have multiple emergencies right now." I'm like, "Okay." I mean, I believe it. My previous complex was smaller, and there was emergency water shut-offs like twice a week on average, I think. Um, but yeah, so it took a while to get my ink, no, to get my closet set up, and now that's set up. But that's getting a little out of order. That was Monday. That was Monday. Monday was crazy. Um, but yeah, I think what else Monday. I think that was about it. Tuesday, let's see. Moving was kind of a total disaster. There were what the heck? There were. There's a typo in there. Okay. There were problems that I hadn't ever considered, and the ones that I had considered were worse than I thought. My room is also a total mess and not nearly as awesome as it was supposed to be. And then the quote is, "My bed creaks and wobbles." Yeah, so Tuesday was just, I mean, just moving in, just sorting stuff, you know. Like for a while, all my stuff was out in the living room. Now it's mostly in here. I think about a few things, maybe in the main room that could need to be sorted. But just about everything's up. My curtains are up. I'm gonna reposition them. They're too low because you know, like apartments that got those built-in blinds that are like really bulky for some reason. Yeah. So the blinds or the curtains don't move super easy because they're kind of interfering with that. So I think I'm gonna move the curtains up a little bit, which will move them further off the ground, which does bother me a little bit. It's not quite as aesthetically pleasing, but then they should be able to move easier, which is I think the function is better than the vanity, for lack of a better word. Wednesday, after work today, I got all my furniture in place, so my room is still a mess, but not a total mess. My bed frame is also a total letdown, but Dad is going to get me a new one for my birthday next month, so that's nice. Me and Ink also went to Walmart and got some stuff, so that was fun and productive. We also got Wi-Fi today. And the quote is, "Coworkers had me worried." Well, see, I wrote that and I was like, I'm not going to remember that. I have a feeling. Why did my coworkers have me worried? What did they do? Oh, now I remember. Yeah, so Wednesday, most of this week was kind of just slowly sorting through all my stuff. Um, finding places for things. And even then, I'm not done. I think Ink's done by now. Good for her. Good for you, Ink. Man, this is a mess. The bed frame's a mess. Got to get the new bed frame. Then once I get the new bed frame, I'll have to move all my stuff onto that. Then I'll have to move the other shelf that I got to replace the old shelf into here, into like that side over there. Then I'll have to put all my stuff on it, and then I think I'll be settled in. Then I think everything should have a place. Because I do have this whole box that says underbed. I guess I could put it like I don't want to put anything on here, even though there is lots of storage here. I don't want to put a whole lot of stuff there because it's just gonna go. It's just gonna be put onto the floor probably in a couple weeks, just so it can then be moved somewhere else. So I'm just saving myself the effort of having to take everything off of here and then moving it somewhere else later. Let me think. Yeah, we went to Walmart. That was good. Dude, I saw this carpet at Walmart that I really, really want. It's a plush carpet. It looks so nice. Beautiful color. Love the color. Love the texture. Not the texture. Well, that too. Love the color, the feel, the texture, the way it looks, everything about it. Um, the pattern is what I meant to say. The way it feels, the size. Perfect for I think our living room, which is just big hardwood floors. So Ink was like, "We got to get a carpet." I'm like, "Okay." We found this carpet. We're like, "This is good carpet." I kept looking. I said, "Oh, this carpet's awesome though." I was like, "Look, it's $30." We take it at checkout. It's not $30. It's $150. I'm like, "That's kind of a lot," but I really like it, so I might go back and get that $150 carpet. That rug, I should say, because it's really nice. I really like it. I think it would be awesome in the living room. Awesome. And also a handheld vacuum. I kind of want one of those. Always wanted one of those. It's just like, I don't know why. Um, and then the quote, "Coworkers had me worried." So Monday and Tuesday were the days I took off to move. And for some reason, the team was there until like 6 p.m. both days. And I'm like, guys, what are you doing? I find it hard to believe that one man makes the entire crew finish work a whole hour later when he's gone. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. Like people call off and call out all the time. I feel like we don't, lose, we don't put that doesn't usually add an hour onto our day. Um, So like, how come when I called out, the entire team was there an extra hour? And then they didn't even like do everything that they were supposed to because they're supposed to take out the recycle on the daily. They didn't because granted, because I usually do that, but even then, that's not an excuse, right? Like you're supposed to cover that, right? Like whenever other coworkers call out, we do their cleaning tasks usually. We don't just say, "Oh, you weren't here, sorry." So like I was gone for 2 days and they just didn't take out the recycle, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way that when I call out, they're there for a whole hour later both days. That just doesn't make sense in my head, bro. Like I said, people call out and call in all the time. So on Wednesday when I came back to work, they had me worried because they were like, "Oh my gosh, we were here till like 6 p.m. last 2 days. We get up before 5 p.m. that day. It's ridiculous." But yeah, that was Wednesday. Whew, Thursday. Work was unusually slow today, so that kind of sucked. After that, I went home to grab my guitar for lessons. After that, I made some Hot Pockets in the oven and organized more of my stuff. I also ordered a pantry. Super excited for that. We desperately need it. And then the quote, "It's all crooked." Um, that quote comes from, uh, I hung some stuff up on my wall, and it's all crooked. Here, let me check this out, guys. I've never done this before. I'm going to pick you up. Look at my wall. Da-da-da-da. Oh, hey, look, it's the ring light. I put some stuff on my wall. It's all pretty crooked, so it makes like whenever you're looking at it, it kind of makes you feel like the entire wall is slanted. I am a perfectionist, but like there's some things that it's just really hard to get perfect. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of them is stuff on the wall. It's hard to get that perfectly centered. Previously they were all vertical, so it was a lot easier. Now they're in a square, and because of like the way that the hooks are in all of them, like because like with this one with this hook whoops with this hook, the hook is kind of like in the middle, but like with these two up here, it's like lower, and then with this one I think it's also similar, like in the middle. So it's like, and they're all just hanging on thumbtacks, by the way, too. These are taped. Or no, that one has a thumbtack. This one's taped. Okay, what else should I show you? You can see my bed up there. All right. Well, what's over there? Yeah, the messy floor. My closet. There's my closet. There's my poster. There's Mr. Bean. Boba Fett. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like right now. All right. Sorry if that was super weird and uncomfortable. Let me put you back. Okay. I think that's about where it was. Um, I try to center myself in the frame. I think I'm a bit the other way. Yeah. Yeah. Am I centered now? Not quite. Whoop. Yeah. Close enough. Okay. That's a little room tour. It'll change. Don't worry. Thursday, yeah, that was the quote. It's all crooked. I made hot pockets in the oven, surprisingly good. I had microwaved them the first time that I ever tried them. I followed the instructions. It tasted awful, disgusting. Don't microwave a hot pocket, man. I don't even know why, because like that's stupid. Also, work was unusually slow on Thursday because we got this whole new packing process with like mailers and UPS. That's dumb, and I hate it. I think we're reworking that soon, hopefully. There is no entry for Friday. Let me go over the events of Friday. Let me try and remember what happened on Friday. Oh, I remember now. Friday was awesome, actually. I kind of wish that I had an entry to, commemorate it. But Friday was awesome. So after work, let me think. Okay, after work, I was tired because I stayed up late on Thursday. Yeah. After work, I was tired. I was so sleepy. And Pouty was like, "Hey, I'm getting a bunch of friends. We're gonna go to Urban Air, which is it's a trampoline. It's advertised as an adventure park. Um, I don't think saying amusement. What, amusement center? Is that the right word? Amusement park? Theme park? Theme park is wrong as well. Anyway, it's, yeah, advertised as an adventure park. It's got a trampoline park. It's got, arcade games. It's got like stuff like that. Um, and Pouty was like, "I'm getting a bunch of friends. We're gonna go to Urban Air." And I was like, "I actually love trampoline parks so much. I wanted to go to one for my birthday one time, but I didn't because I was like, oh, I'm too old for that." And then it was funny that same year, Pouty went to a trampoline park for her birthday and invited her friends, which are also my friends, and then posted on our story. So I was like, "Hey, look, it's all my friends hanging out without me." That was pretty fun, doing what I wanted to do for my birthday. So that was funny. Yeah, so it was a trampoline park. It was so much fun. I love trampoline parks. There was like these little courses, kind of like like actual parkour courses, that were like American Ninja Warrior esque. There was like just a bunch of trampolines for like free jump. There was like ones that had like a basketball hoop. There was one that you would jump into a cushion. You can do flips. There was this one where it was advertised as zero gravity. The trampoline was so bouncy, bouncier than anything I've ever bounced on in my entire life before. I could have hit the ceiling. I could have hit the rafters. That's how high it was bouncing on that thing. Like it was, my body didn't know what to do when I had so much time between hitting the ground and not again. You know what I'm saying? Like I would go up and then I would kind of stay there and then I would fall for a while and at that point I just start losing my balance and falling back and I'm like, oh my god. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun. There was an attraction on the trampoline park. It was a balance beam over a foam pit, and you get these kind of they weren't the Q-tips like you would expect, but they were these cylindrical cushions with two handles on them like this. Um, oh yeah, and the whole party of people that there. It was me, Rowdy, Pouty, Parkour, Katana, his younger sister, and then three of their mutual friends. Wait, one, two, three. Yeah, three of their mutual friends. So like lots of people there, lots of fun. I had done that balance beam fight thing with Katana, and my mistake was assuming he would fight fair. He hit my face a lot. My nose, oh, my nose is still bruised. Um, from that. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna go in there. We're gonna hit each other. No, he just starts hitting my face immediately. I took three hits to the face, and then on the fourth, my glasses go flying off, and I just fall into the pit, and I just lay there because getting hit in the face hurts a lot, and it's a little disorienting. I just kind of laid there until they pulled me out. I stuck my arms up, and they pulled me out of the foam pit. So yeah, frick you, Katana. That was mean. I don't know why he did that. He was like, "Oh no, go again. I won't hit you in the face." I'm like, "No, frick you." Yeah, so that was not as fun as it could be because he was purposely, mind you, he admitted to it, to purposely hitting me in the face. I'm like, what are you doing? How is that fun? Like, I guess he gets to win, but come on, man. Jeez. Yeah, so my nose is still bruised from that, getting hit in the face. Other than that, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, I mean, it's trampoline park. I love trampoline parks. It was so much fun. There was dodgeball, which was not super fun because for some reason the lights, it was just really dim in the whole place, and the lights were like flickering. Like it was intentional, I'm pretty sure. It was supposed to like create like a little vibe, I guess. It was just annoying. Um, but yeah, Friday was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh! And then after that, after the trampoline park, if that wasn't fun enough, we went to Freddy's. We got food. Freddy's was good. I got a shake. Then we go to Katana's for an after party. That was a lot of fun. I won't get into details on what we did, but it was a lot of fun. Trust me on that one. We stayed up until I think we stayed there until like 2 or 3 a.m. Um, and yeah, that's why there was no journal entries because I got back super late. And then I did invite Ink. She was asleep though. After I got home from work, I was gonna go to sleep. I was gonna take a nap, but for some reason my body doesn't let me nap. It hates napping, so I didn't fall asleep. But I did rest, and I got there to Urban Air, and I was super tired, but it was fine. I got more energized by being around my friends, so it was cool. Um, and then yeah, I think that was Friday. Yeah, Ink was gonna go, but she was literally sleeping. Um, and then I got back super late, and that was Friday. Wow. Saturday. I've been a bit lax with the entries because I've been very busy with moving, but also friends, and today was no exception to that, but that's not a bad thing. The quote, oh yeah, it's all coming together, and that's the quote from The Emperor's New Groove. That's what Kronk says at one point. Saturday, man, what did I do Saturday? Saturday was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, what did I do Saturday? I hang out with friends yesterday? Did I hang out with friends yesterday? I think that's what it says in here. Oh wait, no. Today was no exception? Oh, now I remember. Okay, yeah. So Saturday, I was just doing like more moving stuff, sorting through, nothing crazy. Um, but it was later in the evening that Ink, something you should know about Ink, she likes drinking. She was like, hey, I'm gonna have a drink. You want some drinks? And I was like, sure. So we had some drinks and we played Fortnite until like 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning. And also her boyfriend played too. And it was a lot of fun. I think that's about all that happened Saturday. I was just kind of organizing my stuff, getting stuff, buying stuff, putting stuff in place. It was actually just today, actually. I guess we'll get to today in just a minute. Because I think, yeah, that's about all that happened Saturday. I was doing moving stuff, and then I played Fortnite. Got a couple of victory royales with Ink and her boyfriend, and had a couple drinks, and it was a good time. Yeah, that was Saturday. Leads us to today. Man, what did I do today? Gosh, goodness gracious. I think I'm just about on time for this, by the way. I really thought this would have been like a 2-hour episode, but I am blowing through all this right now. Today, oh goodness, I went to church, which is why I look so amazing, why I look so fly right now with my quarter zip. My younger sister saw me. She was like, "Are you wearing a quarter zip?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "Wonderful." So that was funny. I did rock the slick back today. This has pomade in. And the thing about hair is that the longer and bigger it is, the more expensive it is to keep it like this. Because whenever there's more of it, I have to use more product to keep it in place, and I have to use more shampoo and conditioner to keep it nice. Um, that's kind of why I liked having long hair. Remember when my hair was buzzed smooth off? It was like one pump of shampoo and like two pumps of conditioner, and that would get like everything. And I wouldn't even have to put product in it because it was so short. I would just like little spray, psh, and then perfect. Or just one comb, perfect. I do like how it looks. I feel like it's kind of getting to that glorious mane stage, is what I call it. Like once my hair gets long in my head, it feels like a lion's mane kind of to me. And I think the slick back, like I guess this tech, like in my head, a slick back is very obviously slicked back with like gel, and it's like tight to your head. Like it would look like this. Like this is what a slick back looks like in my head, where it's like tight to my head, and it was like shiny from like all the product. Um, so like this is technically a slick back, but it kind of just feels like it's back, to me. Like I said, like a lion's mane, where it's like whoosh, it's like flowing. It's awesome. I do love how this looks, I'll be honest, but like I said, the slick back is very hard to maintain because my hair does not like being tamed. It wants to go wild. Usually, what happens, as I've said this before, it'll just turn into a weird looking middle part. But I put some water in today and then just combed it back, and it's holding surprisingly well. Um, and like I didn't have to use a whole lot of pomade, and now my hair is getting all up in my face. But yeah, so I went to church today while I got my nice shirt. Um, After that, I went straight to Dad's for laundry, and then also food. Coincidentally, I am so grateful. Thank you, Dad. My gratitude cannot be overstated. There was breakfast burritos ready when I got to Dad's house for laundry, and I was like, "Oh, thank goodness!" I was so hungry because I hadn't eaten anything. I woke up at like 10, and then I pretty much just got ready to go to church, and then got my laundry, and I went to church, and then I did the laundry at Dad's, and I was starving, and there were breakfast burritos, so I'm like, perfect. So then I did laundry. I was gonna practice piano, and then Dad harshed my vibe, so I came back. Um, and then, oh, when I came back, the pantry was here. So, interesting thing, the leasing office has a package center. It is Sunday, so the leasing office is closed, so the pantry showed up at our door. The thing is I'm wondering, would it have shown up at the door if the leasing office was open? Because, like I said, there is a package center in the leasing office, so I'm like, if that's closed, do they deliver it straight to our door? Or is everyone ordering their packages to the leasing office, right? So I was like, okay, let me try putting in our exact address and apartment number. That way they might, because I was thinking, I was like, is the Amazon, are they getting ordered to deliver, right? Are they being told to deliver to the package center, or is everyone else telling Amazon to give them their packages to the package center, right? So I'm like, okay, let's see what happens if we order this pantry, right, big box, to our apartment. And then once I got back from Dad's with my laundry, it was in there. It was in the apartment. Ink had gotten it, and it had been like opened but not built. I was like, perfect, right? Because one of our closets, so the closet that was supposed to be our pantry only had one shelf in it, which really sucks. It was a fairly small pantry to begin with, but it only had one shelf and then the floor, and it was really small. And I'm like, this is terrible. We need to fix this. And Ink was like, we've got to buy a pantry, and I'm like, I guess we've got to buy a pantry. I can't think of any other solution to this. We need a pantry. So we in one of the hallway closets we had been using as a pantry, which was kind of far away from the kitchen. I didn't like that, but we had to put our food somewhere. So we put it in that hallway closet for a while, for about a week, until today when the pantry got here. We built the pantry with the help of her boyfriend. And now we've got all our food in there. And now that we've got the hallway closet, I can put all my extra linens in there. And then so now just about all of my stuff has a spot, minus my room. Um, so like I got all my linens in that closet. We've got a closet next to the door, which I think can hold all my sports stuff that we don't have to store in my trunk. That the closet that would be used as like the, oh my gosh, the where I would store all my sports stuff was previously in the other apartment occupied by Azula's litter box. But now we don't have Azula. R.I.P. Azula. She's still alive. Don't worry. I just don't live with her anymore. Um, yeah, so I'm like, okay, nice. Now I think I can store all the stuff instead of storing it in my trunk. I can store it in there. Not that I really need room in my trunk, but I might help Surfer Girl move in a couple weeks, which could be cool. And I was like, oh, if that does happen, then I'm gonna need room in my trunk, maybe, depending on how much stuff she has. I'm pretty sure she's like a hoarder. I don't know if that's by nature or by choice, but I'm sure she has a lot of stuff, and having trunk space would help with that if I'm gonna help her move, which I plan on doing. But her whole situation, it's her business, so I won't share it here. But her moving situation is even crazier than mine. Um, And like I feel like moving is like there is no clean and simple easy move, right? Like I feel like that's the way the world works, right? No one ever has an easy move ever. Something is always crazy or hectic or something goes wrong. Cuz for me, I tried my hardest. I thought it was going to be as easy as, it would feel like metaphorically picking up all my stuff and then dumping it in here and then sorting it later, and then it just went crazy. But yeah, so Surfer Girl's moving situation is crazy as well. But I think I'm going to help her in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, that is the plan. I have already submitted the time off request. Um, so I think we're good there. And like I said, I'm trying to stick to the 2 day. Got the pantry, built the pantry. Parkour came over, and then Ink gave him another tattoo, and Ink gave her boyfriend a tattoo, and then Ink touched up my tattoo, which I showed you. Oh, it still hurts. It's raw. Um, yeah, so now that is done. I've been waiting to do that for a while. It's just she lived so far away. She lived up in Narnia. I couldn't get to her previously, but now we live in the same place, and it's awesome. Okay, so 2 day, and I think that's about today. We built the pantry. We got our stuff in the pantry. I got my linens in there. Not in there, in the other closet where the pantry was. And then Parkour came over. Ink gave her own tattoos. We started playing Nintendo Switch. Lots of fun. We played Tricky Towers. And then after that, we played a little bit of Nintendo Switch Sports. And then Parkour had to go home. And that leads us to right now. Okay. Right now. Overarching goals, still working on that music thing. Why haven't I done it already? I feel like I've told you before. You can at least figure. I don't know how else to explain it. No. So the reason I haven't recorded and sent in anything as an audition is because I wanted to get the camera perfect, and that might sound weird, but I mean, like my dad was stressing me out by telling me things I already knew, which was this is the college, right? This is an establishment. They're gonna want near perfection. And I'm like, he's like, I don't mean to stress you out. And I'm like, that's what you're doing, is what I said to him in my head. But I don't know. Yeah, man. Anyway, so I was like, I need to record myself, right? Playing and send it to them, right? A lot easier said than done, because this is a college, right? I can't just put my phone on my little phone tripod, press record, and then send that to them. The audio quality is probably going to be terrible, right? And like the angle as well. So what I need to do is in my head, I need to get an angle that's about level with me somewhere to where you can see my hands and the keyboard, maybe my full body. Most importantly, you can see what I'm looking at, which is supposed to be nothing because it's all supposed to be played from memory, right? So I need to get that camera angle, and I need to get good audio. Now I'm pretty sure my microphone that I'm using right now has decent audio, and the thing is because the audio that it needs to capture is coming from my piano, which is I believe the technical term. You might want to look this up because I'm pretty sure it's very highly possible that I'm wrong. But the exact term for the piano that I use is not an electric piano. I think it's called a virtual piano. I think. Like I said, you should Google that because I'm not sure. Um, and what that means is it's a full piano, right, standing, but it is electric. It is powered, by electricity. It's not acoustic. It's not acoustic, right? So it's just an electric piano, pretty much. But I don't say electric piano because that kind of that has another meaning, which is the actual electric piano sound, which sounds different from a piano. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like imagine that electric piano sound where it's like, you know what I'm saying? That was a terrible impression, but you know what I'm saying? My point is, I don't call it an electric piano because that can mean something else. But it's pretty much an electric piano. Meaning the sound is coming from speakers, right? Right? Not like the actual thing. And not all microphones are good at capturing things from speakers, right? So if I just put my phone on the floor and press record, it might sound terrible, right? Trying to capture the piano speakers. But I'm pretty sure that this microphone is actually pretty good at doing that. And I know that because if I'm ever scrolling or on call with my friends, they'll be like, bro, why is your phone so loud? Because they can hear my phone better than I can while I'm wearing headphones. So I'm pretty sure that here. Let me test real quick. All right, hang with me 1 second. This is not the piano I'll be using, but this is a piano, and you should be able to hear it just fine if I. Right? Like I'm pretty sure that's. Like, you can hear that just fine, right? Anyway, yeah, like I said, I can't tell you right now because I've got to finish the recording, but I'm pretty sure that audio should have been picked up like almost flawlessly from this microphone. Um, and I think that's about all for today. Gonna work on that overarching goal of college. If everything goes right in my life, I think I'll be in this apartment for, I want to say 2.5 years. Because you know how like, school starts in August, but August is towards the end of the year, right? So if I've got to go through 2 whole more school years, I'll probably be here, I think, exactly 2.5 years. Now, I did hear Ink say one time, it's only for a year. I really hope it's not only for a year because I don't want to move again. That might suck. Um, but I haven't talked to her about that. I'm pretty sure she'd be okay with staying here for about that long. I don't know what else. What else? I don't know like what she's thinking. I meant to ask her about that. Never got around to it. I think that's about everything. I think we're good, and I think I'm right about on time. I don't know if that was half an hour or 40 minutes or 50 minutes. Definitely less than an hour, I think. Um, I think we're good. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all next week. Bye.